Good morning everyone and welcome to this class. This session is for class 7th, subject Social Science, chapter number 9 of civics, and the name of the chapter is A Shirt in the Market. As we have already completed one of the lecture from this chapter, this is basically the journey of a shirt. How does it come there in the market for consumers? So for the customers, so we have covered some of the parts, like one of the farmer who is there, who grows cotton crop, then she sells that cotton to the traders, and from traders then different mills, ginning mill, then after in spinning mill that cotton that is turned into the yarn, then yarns they are purchased by different merchants, and merchants they give work to the weavers for making cloth. Now we will continue this journey here in this lecture. So this is going to be our lecture number 2. Now let's see the topics that we are going to cover. They are: number 1, the garment exporting factory near Delhi. So what the task this exporting factory is doing. Then the shirt in the US, how the different exporter they export that shirt there in the markets of US and Europe. Then markets and equality, they are the complete chain. After discussing the complete chain of this from producer to the customers, we'll see that are all people getting equal benefits or equal profits, clear or not. Then the homework will be given on the basis of the topics covered in today's lecture. So listen very carefully. First is the garment exporting factory near Delhi. Merchants of Erode supplies cotton cloth to a garment exporter factory near Delhi. As in previous lecture we have done that Erode market there in Tamil Nadu, they prepare that cloth, clear. From there the cotton cloth that is supplied there to the exporter factory near Delhi. The garment exporting factory use this cloth to make shirt. Then this shirt is to be exported to foreign buyers. So when the cloth that is used to make shirt by the garment factories, then this shirt is to be sold there in the foreign markets. Even foreign buyers means the buyers from other countries, and especially here we are going to discuss about US. Then foreign buyers include business persons from US and Europe. So here in this chapter we will be taking example of US. Then this factory that supplies this shirt to the business persons there in different areas. So we are going to take the example of business persons of US. They set standard of quality and time. These business persons they fix the time, that this much time they give for the to the exporting factory, that they need the work within this time, and they want the quality of the work also. And for that obviously this factory, the workers those are working here, they are also give certain standard to the workers. So they are forced to do the hard work there. The workers those are working there in these factories, so they get a lot of work from these workers and really give very less wages to them. The conditions that they have, the workers, they are really not appropriate. Even their jobs are not permanent. We'll discuss about the condition of those workers also. So these foreigner business persons, they want the standard quality and within the time the work, that is, so that they can get the profit, the huge profit you can say. Garment exporting factories try to extract maximum work from their worker at the lowest cost. This is they maximize that is why they maximize their profit. So what they do, they get the maximum work from the workers at lower prices so that they can get the profit from there. Even one example is there from Impact's garment factory there which has 70 workers there, and most of the workers they are female workers. The reason, because these female workers they agree at the lower wages to do the work. This is the reason that most of the workers are females. Now, condition of workers in garment factory. Under which condition these workers they are working? Are they really that is fine for them, or it is the condition they are working they are appropriate or not? Just see what the workers in garment exporting factory work at least 10 to 12 hours in a day. Means for complete day they just continuously they work for 10 to 12 hours in a day. They get very low wages. The amount or the salary you can say that they are getting that is very low. Wages means day to day salary that they get, so that is very low here. Then their job that is also not permanent. It depends on the need of the employer. Employer means the person who has given the work to particular employee. So here these workers they do not have the permanent jobs. Even when they need these workers they hire them, but when there is no need then they fire them from the job. So this is not the permanent job. Next is their wages are fixed according to their skill. Means there are different type of workers working, so according to the skill they are paid the wages. Like the tailor those are getting here examples are given. Basically the tailor there who is getting 3,000 per month, the person for ironing the cloth who is getting 1.5 rupees per piece, and then for the person for cutting thread or buttoning who is getting just 1,500 per month. So these wages that they are getting they are fixed according to the skill. What skill they are doing, what task they are performing, according to that they are getting the wages. Next is more women employees are appointed as helpers. As I already explained that there in Impact's garment factory, the example is given, most of the workers they are female workers, women are there. Why? Because the reason is that they are ready to work even at the lower wages. So that is the reason more employees there are the females workers. Clear? So these under these conditions the workers they work there in the garment factory. Clear? So what task they perform? They make as they have taken the cloth, so these workers they are basically here to make the cloth or the shirt we are talking about here. Now the shirt in the United States, US, as in the starting I told you will be discuss particularly about US. So now shirt in the US, how the prices they are set up there in the US for that shirt that has been bought there in India at very low prices. Just see, the shirts that are brought from garment export centers are sold in dollars in US. We know that the currency of US that is dollar. Our currency it is rupees, but there in US the currency of US that is dollar. And if we compare rupees and dollar, the dollars that has higher value, very high value in comparison to rupees. Clear? So they are sold in dollars there. The shirt is sold at rupees 200 by the export centers and it is sold at rupees 1200 in US. if we convert the dollar into rupees, so what the price it has, it is of 1200 rupees per piece. Here that is sold there just 200 rupees only, but there it is sold at 1200 rupees in US. So they get a huge profit from that business, from that particular cloth business that they are doing. Now let's calculate the profit of business person in US. Now we'll calculate that how much profit they are getting per shirt there in US. Who are getting? Business person. So let's see here, purchase that is done at just rupees 200 per shirt, then advertising rupees 300 per piece. The advertising that they are doing, that is 300 per piece, then storage charges, that is 100 rupees per shirt, clear, where they are storing the complete charges, that is 100 rupees per shirt. So total, if we take that, total 600 they are paying. They are investing 600 rupees per shirt, but they sell it at rupees 1200. So what is the profit? Obviously 600 rupees per shirt they are getting the profit. That is really a huge profit that they are getting from this shirt. Now, do we think that the profit as these business persons they are getting are is it equal for everyone, every buyer or seller that we have discussed in this chain? Is it equal? No. So we'll discuss here market and equality. We know that from the farmer, that Sapna we have done, until this here the business person there in US. So if complete chain we discussed, do we think that they are getting the equal amount of profit? That is not really, it is here the equality in profit, it is not here. So we'll discuss here that the market equality in the market, the equality is not there. So let's see, foreign businessmen made huge profit in the market, that we have already seen, that per shirt that near about 600 rupees the business person is getting. Then garment manufacturers only make moderate profit. The manufacturers or garment factories, we can say, they are also getting the moderate profit. Even that is also explained in the book, that these they are getting the raw material for per shirt for 70 rupees. So the raw material it is of 70 rupees. Then 15 rupees they are the cost there they are paying for the running, means for taking the cloth from one place to another, and 15 rupees they are giving to the workers as wages per shirt we are talking here. So per shirt 70 rupees for the raw material, 15 rupees for the wages, and 15 rupees for the running, means from bringing from one place to another. So this total cost if we talk about, that is 100 rupees, clear, but they are selling that at 200 rupees. So they are also getting the profit, but the profit is not high as the business person there in US they are getting. So moderate profit they are getting. Then weavers at Erode market and small farmers don't make huge profit. What profit they are? They are just getting very low wages and very low prices for their crops, if you talk about the farmers. Poor people have no option but to depend on the rich people. That is really true, that these poor people they just want to get the work, and who are providing? The rich people, they are providing them the work. So they do not have any other option, just they are dependent on these rich people. Then poor are exploited in the market, that we have taken the we have already discussed the different examples of the poor people. If we take example of Sapna, she is poor and she is exploited by the trader. In the same way, the weavers also, they do not have any other option. They are dependent on merchants, so they are also exploited by them. They are getting very less wages. We can take example of workers there in the factory even. They are also getting very less wages. So these all the poor people, they are exploited in the market. Laws should be made to protect the interest of weavers and small farmers. So what the at last we can say that there should be the different laws that should be given to protect these farmers and the weavers, to protect their interest, that the work they are doing for different people. So we can say that in profit, if we talk about, there is no equality. Some are getting very huge profit, some are getting moderate, and some are even not getting the profit. They are just dependent on others. This is all about market and equality. Now let's recall how does a shirt that come to the buyer or to the customer. Let's see again. Firstly, cotton is grown by the farmers, and here in the chapter we have taken example of Sapna. So Sapna sells cotton there to the traders, the local trader. Then ginning mill cleans the cotton and make it into bales. So that ginning mill, what they are in the ginning mill, what is done, the seeds they are clean up from the cotton and then bales are prepared. Then spinning mill buys the cotton and sells yarns to the yarn dealer or merchant. What is the task done by spinning mill? To turn the cotton into the thread or the yarn. The next process, from there the merchant get the yarn and provide it to the weavers for making clothes. So after making that yarn, the next step is to be taken, that is the merchants, they get that raw material or the yarn from these mills and they provide it to the weavers for making clothes. After then weavers return with the cloth. They get the thread, then they make the cloth according to the different the instructions that are provided to them. Then the finished cloth they are giving back to the merchants. After then the next step, it is garment exporter buy the cloth from merchants for making shirt. Then the next step, these garment exporters, the factories, they are getting the cloth from these merchants and make the shirt. Then exporters sells a shirt to the business persons from US. Here we have taken example of US. We can take these shirts can be sold there in other markets also. Then customers buy these shirts from a supermarket. Clear? This is the complete procedure that we have covered. How does a shirt come there to the buyer? Clear? So I hope that the complete journey it is understood by you. Now we can take one more example. Chain of markets in milk cooperatives. So one more example we are going to take, that is related to the milk. How are they working? Like the first thing, dairy cooperatives purchase milk from dairy farmers at different locations. Yes, because different dairies they are set up there in different areas. So that different people, those are working with dairy cooperatives, so they go in different locations and get the milk from them. The milk is then transported to the factories run by the dairy cooperatives. So after collection of the milk, it is sent to the dairy, different dairy cooperatives. Then the next step, the milk is then pasteurized and packed in the containers or the packets. Then the packed milk containers are then given to traders working with the cooperatives, who transport them to the locations where wholesale dealers will purchase them. So from those factories the wholesale dealers are getting, and after wholesalers then retailers then purchase the milk from wholesalers, who then sell the packet of milk at the booths spread across the city to the consumers. So this is also one of the chain that we have taken example of milk. Even more examples we can take here. If we take example of tea, so tea plants, firstly from the tea plant the leaves are plucked, then they are dried up, different workers are working there, then after that is packed there in the packets. Obviously the wholesalers are there, then retailers are there. So this is the process, basically the chain of markets that is there from producer to consumer. Clear about that? We have taken different examples also here. So I hope that all the topics that we have covered here, they are clear to you. Now let's move towards the homework. The first question: describe the conditions of employment as well as the wages of workers in a garment exporting factory. Do you think the workers get a fair deal? So here this is the question that are in exercise basically. So here you will describe the condition of the workers in factory. The second question: think of something common that we use. It could be sugar, tea, milk, pen, pencil, paper, etc. Discuss through that chain of markets this reaches to you. Can you think of the people that help in the production or trade? So here you will write the complete procedure, and at last the people that help, like from producer, then wholesalers, then retailers, and at last we are getting. Clear? This is also the question that are given in the exercise. Next question: why do you think more women are employed there in Impact's garment factory? That also it is discussed there in the lecture. The next question it is: do question number 4 of book exercise in the book itself. In book exercise there are different steps given, how the shirt that it has come there in the market. So all the steps they are described there. You have to just put the mark that which number, which task has been done first, second, third, fourth, like this. Clear? So this question you can attempt there in the book only. These are the questions that you will attempt. Now it's time for the homework solution of lecture 1. Question number 1 it was: what made Swapna sell the cotton to the trader instead of selling at the Kurnool cotton market? So the reasons are: Swapna sold the cotton to the trader as number 1, Swapna had borrowed 2500 rupees from the trader at a very high rate of interest to buy seeds, fertilizers and pesticides for cultivation. So she has to pay that loan that she borrowed. That's why the first reason. Second reason: the trader had an agreement with Swapna to sell her cotton to the trader instead of selling in the Kurnool cloth market. So that agreement that was done when she has borrowed the money. Next question it was: write a short note on cloth market of Erode. Cloth market of Erode. Number 1, the bi-weekly market of Erode in Tamil Nadu is one of the biggest cloth market in the world. Cloth made by different weavers from that area is brought for sale here in that market. Then the weavers get yarn from the merchants and supply them to the cloth. The yarn that is given by the merchants, and then the cloth made by them, that is supplied to the merchant. The fourth point: these merchants supply cloth to garment manufacturers and exporters, and these garment manufacturers or exporters, they make the shirt from that. They made the shirt from that cloth here in this chapter. The next question, it was third question, define the term ginning mill. Here, ginning mill, a factory where seeds are removed from cotton balls. The cotton is pressed into balls to be sent for the spinning into thread. So next task, that obviously is done by spinning mill for turning that cotton into the thread. What is putting out system? What are the advantages of weavers in it? The putting out system is a means of subcontracting work in which the contract that has been given to different people for completing the task. In putting out system, a central agent would buy material and then give them out to various people to work. The weavers do not have to spend. Then what are the profits for the second part, advantages of weavers? So weavers do not have to spend their own money for yarn for making cloth, so it saves the money of the weavers. Then they do not have the problem of selling the finished cloth. So these are the advantages, that the benefits for the weavers that are in putting out system. So with this we have completed our chapter. I hope that all the topics they are understood by you. So thank you and have a nice day.